Bry's Comics.
In this video, we're going to talk about 4 tips that I have on how you can enhance and add value to the comic book collecting experience. And this video is inspired by last week. My friend Josh and I went down to LA and saw the fan screening for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. We met up with some subscribers of the channel at the Scum and Villainy Cantina, a Star Wars themed bar before the show, and we had an absolute blast. Thank you to everyone who came out, and the experience left me thinking, what kind of video can I do about this experience? Because just meeting up with comic book friends and getting to actually connect with viewers of the channels was incredibly rewarding experience. And it dawned on me that I want to encourage people to take advantage of some of these free things that you can do in this community to add value to your comic collecting experience. So we're going to go over the 4 tips. I also have a special guest on the show, and stay tuned to the end of the video to see some footage of the trip that we took down there to LA. So tip number 1 is get involved with the comic community. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Let me just collect my comics in peace. The thought to a lot of us, I think the default for most people in social situations is maybe even a little bit of anxiety comes on. I totally understand that. But I just want to encourage you that, making new friends in this hobby is worth the effort. I think you will find when you make new friends in this hobby, we have a lot of stuff to talk about right off the bat, because we're all, comic book enthusiasts, and there's things that we can learn from each other, and there's so much to talk about. There's social media as well. There's a whole online experience and all of the just different platforms to get social with comic books. And I think that absolutely adds value to the experience. And it leads into my second tip, which is buy comics from people that you actually like. And before I hop into more details about that, I want to welcome Aaron from Josh's Comic Book. Aaron, what's up, man? Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. What's up, Bri?
Not much, man. I'm doing this video here, and I wanted to bring you on. One of the tips in the video is buying comic books from people that you actually like as a way to enhance the hobby. So I thought I'm going to have Aaron on, talk about Josh's Comic Books and your page and everything that you're doing over on your page. So why don't you tell us a little bit about Josh's Comic Books?
I created my account for a different reason than probably most people. My brother Josh and I collected comic books since we were really little. Josh was 8. I was 11 when we started collecting and reading. Every Wednesday, my mom would take us to our comic shop and let us go nuts just buying any book because we were reading. We'd go home after we hit the shop, and we would just sit there at our dining room table and read 50 books every single Wednesday, which was awesome. And then we'd have crazy debates about characters and universes, which one's better, DC, Marvel. It was a fixture of my childhood all the way up until when I turned 18 and graduated and moved off to college, which I still read in college, but wasn't going to my local shop with my brother anymore. Fast forward to 3 years ago, Josh passed away. Josh had a really bad addiction issue and unfortunately succumbed to it. And I took it very hard. Josh was my best friend, and I'm the one who actually found him as well in his apartment, and it really broke me. And I needed a way to keep his name alive and to keep his memory alive for me. And comics were always something that brought us joy, and we never fought over a comic book. It helps me focus on a really positive aspect of our relationship and not some of the negative aspects. And so I decided a year and a half ago to create my Instagram account, Josh's Comic Books. Started as just a means for me to share our collection and some backstory about him, and hopefully also help people that are going through what I went through and my family went through. And it's kind of ballooned into a account where now we make daily videos explaining to people what my views on the state of the comic book industry and the hobby in general.
Yeah.
And I rambled. I apologize.
No, that's perfect. Yeah, and I'm so sorry to hear about your brother. I know that so many of us can actually relate to that. I have lots of experiences in my life that relate directly to, what you're going through and what you went through. And I think that It's an awesome way to honor your brother. And it's also an awesome way to allow others in the hobby to get involved. You know, I came across, the reason I had you on today is I saw that you posted an Avengers 1 and you were selling it in an effort to acquire an X-Men 1, which was like the grail book for you and your brother. And I was like, man, I want to be a part of that. And so that's why I bought the Avengers 1. I'm going to use it either as a mystery box prize, or maybe I'll offer it as a trade. And I noticed that in some of your posts, you were like hesitant to list books for sale because you don't want to be a sales page. And I totally understand that. I totally understand where you're coming from. There's a thin line between some of the content you produce about, you know, sellers and stuff. But I just want to encourage you, you know, that without people that sell comic books, we can't collect them. And you're providing an opportunity for people to honor your brother, to honor what you're doing, to be a part of what you're doing, and they get more value out of the hobby. So
I was very torn when, you know, this year I came up with one comic book goal, and the one goal was to complete the collection that Josh and I started. And since we were kids, we always wanted an X-Men 1, and it was a book that was, you know, seemingly out of reach forever. But this year I wanted to honor him and to complete the collection by purchasing an X-Men 1. And the only way that I could financially afford to do that was begrudgingly sell some of the books from my personal collection. And I'm not a seller by any means. I think in 30 years of collecting, I've sold maybe 15 books, 20 at the very, very high end. And, you know, books, especially the ones that belong to us as kids, really mean more to me than just a comic book. It's a memory. So I was very hesitant. And, you know, I also don't want my page to ever be seen as a sales page, because it is a way to keep my brother's name and memory alive. And all of the posts that I've put up will eventually be deleted pretty soon, because I want to.
Yeah. Well, you know, I knew you were on your last push to get that X-Men 1, but as we talked about before you came on, it seems like you've already reached that goal, which is great. I personally hope that, you know, you go for another big book, you allow some people to get in on this too, to be part of your journey. But, you know, if not, if anything else, you guys just go give Josh's Comic Books a follow over on Instagram. And Aaron, thank you so much for coming on, and thanks for doing what you're doing. I think it's really cool.
Right. Thank you so much, man. You know, you put me over the top, and are allowing me to complete our collection, and it's huge. And I'm extremely grateful for you and everyone in the comic book community. You know, I think that that Instagram in general has really been an amazing experience, because it makes us all, especially me, feel like I'm at a con every day. You know, us comic nerds have a friendly, safe space that we can all get together every day and just chat and communicate with each other. And the community itself has rallied around me, which I'm so grateful for, and so grateful for you helping me, you know, succeed in my mission to complete my collection.
So thank you to Aaron for coming on the show. Go give him a follow over at Josh's Comic Books, and it ties in directly with tip number 2, which was buy comics from people that you actually like. And to take that a step further, you know, buy comics on platforms that you actually enjoy. And I would encourage you to broaden your horizons, okay? If you're somebody who only buys comic books on eBay, you definitely need to check out some other platforms. There's other auction houses, there's Whatnot, there's Instagram, and you know, not all of those platforms are for everyone. I know that Whatnot, for example, is not for everyone. There's a bunch of BS that you got to filter through on Whatnot, but there's also a lot of really cool sellers, and you can reach out and make some really cool connections, some really cool friends, and just follow the people that you like, and don't follow the people that annoy you. Step number 3 is to learn how to press, clean, and submit your own books. Now, this isn't going to apply to everyone. If you just don't have the time to do this, you don't have the time to do this. But you can still submit books to CGC if you're short on time. And so you don't necessarily have to press and clean the books yourself. You could find a presser that can do the pressing and cleaning for you and then submit to CGC on your behalf. The whole point of this tip is to get more equity in your books and to have a little bit more ownership with the books, because the best way to get instant equity in comic books in this hobby is to find books raw and get them and press and clean them yourself and get them graded by CGC. And then if you want to take it even a step further, it's buy collections at a discount because you're buying a bulk collection. Learn how to figure out which books are worth grading, press, clean, and submit those to CGC. That's like as far as you can kick that can down the road to get the most equity out of comic books in this hobby. And on this channel, I have a plethora of videos about this whole process, about every step of that. So if that's something that interests you, please consider hitting subscribe. In so doing, it will enter you to win this month's giveaway. We always do a monthly giveaway here on the channel. If you subscribe to the channel, comment on this video, and like this video, you're entered to win that. And if you head over to brycecomics.com and sign up for the newsletter, you're also entered to win a free slab each and every month. You'll get first access to new collections that come through the shop. And if you use code COLLECT10, you'll get 10% off all in-stock items. Learning how to press, clean, and submit your own books gives you more ownership of the books and gives you more equity into the book. So if it's something you have time to do, there's a ton of videos out there about pressing and cleaning. It's a whole rabbit hole. You can go as far down as you want, but it's not rocket science. It is not rocket science to press and clean books, and you can do it. You can absolutely learn to do it with just a little bit of research. If you have the desire to learn how to do it, the tools are there for you. So that leads me to my last tip. Tip number 4 is learn how to snag a good deal. Usually this comes from auctions, and there are auctions everywhere. There's auctions at the auction houses. There's auctions over on Instagram. Live sales over on Instagram are great. There's live auctions on Whatnot where you can consistently get really good deals over there on Whatnot, but you kind of have to put in the work. You have to show up to the sale. You have to stick around. You have to filter through all the, BS that gets thrown at you. And if you can filter through that and walk away from it with a key that you got for, I don't know, even if it's just 10% less than fair market value, now you have secured that new key for your collection and you got it at a great deal. You have an instant equity of 10%. And for me, it feels a lot better to know that I got that book that I was hunting at a great price. So broaden your horizons, attend some of these different sales, see which ones work for you, which ones you enjoy the most. I was in an Instagram live sale the other day where the seller dealed a hand of blackjack to one of the viewers, and if he won the hand of blackjack, he got the book for free, and if he lost the hand of blackjack, then he got to buy the book for 50% off. So it was just like this really awesome, really fun, cool, engaging thing to do on a live sale. And if you didn't broaden your horizons and check these different places out, how would you know that there's so much fun to be had in the process of buying comics? So that's what this video is all about. 4 tips on how to add value and enhance your comic collecting experience. I hope that it was helpful to some of you. I hope that you're inspired by this to try something different. Thanks as always for sticking with me to the end of the video, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye.
Bryce Comics.
Alright guys, here we are at the Scum and Villainy. We got all the homies in the house. Check it out. Comic book people in the house. It's the Bryce Comics crew, y'all. Say what's up. Say what's up. Say what's up.
Good time over
everybody.
here.
Greatest smell.
Let's go see the real star of the show. The real star of the show. There he is, folks. Rudely interrupting his conversation. The real star of the show.
What?
You're on. You're on.
Listen. Even though this is a fan event, everywhere I go, Dark Hawk books, right here.
Dark Hawk.
You know?
Is that the
Not
whole,
right here?
Is that the whole run?
This is 1 through 20. Well, it seems like it's almost 1 through 25.
All right.
Maybe it is 1 through 25.
Got some holes, but
Yeah.
number 1 is there.
But
Yeah,
They like fancy 90s covers in there.
Oh yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah. Super
That's a
90s.
9.8 right there. He's gonna get it slapped. He guaranteed it.
100%. Look at this. Newsstand copies.
Yay.
Get your newsstands.
Well, it's good to see you got your priorities straight.
Yeah. You know, here we are at the bar trying to be social, but we're talking about Dark Hawk books instead.